everyone, my name is Victoria and welcome back to my channel. So I didn't have a video last week and that's because I was celebrating my 20th birthday. Yeah, I turned two decades old. I was just talking to everyone how I literally don't feel like I've aged past maybe 16. So 20 feels super weird. The only really unfortunate thing is my back is already hurting, and I thought that was supposed to happen when you're like 40. But for some reason, my back always hurts. Maybe that's just because I'm at my desk 90% of the day. But today I thought I would put together a video for you, which is 20 things that I learned in my first 20 years of life. And I learned a lot, from really minor things to really big life lessons, but I wanted to give you just 20 of them, 20 things that I learned in my first 20 years of life. It actually took me a pretty long while, over a span of several days, to put this together because I'm literally reflecting on 20 years of life. There's a lot to unpack there. So I'm giving you the best of the best that I've thought of, and I hope that you enjoy it. Oh, and just so y'all know, none of these are in an order of importance or anything. I just wrote them down and kind of blended some smaller things with some larger lessons. So let's get into it. Number one is it is proven that if you write things down, you are so much more likely to get them done. And I use this with everything in my life, from doctor's appointments to things that I have to do, like chores throughout the day, to schoolwork, to goals that I have. I think it's a form of manifestation where if you have this thing on your mind, you're more likely to put in subconscious and conscious effort into meeting your goal. Number two, spend less than you make. And my dad taught me this, and it's very true. If you spend less than you make, of course you will be saving money. And it's getting harder and harder to save money. It's completely true, and I have a video on that from 2 weeks ago if you want to check that out. But by tracking how much money you're spending on music and events and food and extra stuff, over time you can really cut down on how much you spend, and just making it a habit to spend less than you make is a really great goal. Number three, when it comes to skincare and a bunch of other things, but specifically skincare, less is more. My skin started to heal from years and years of really bad acne and dryness by cutting down how many really harsh ingredients are in my products. So I have cut my skincare routine down. Products like I no longer use toners or eye creams. I brought it down to a cleanser and a moisturizer. And if you would like, you can do face masks and some way to exfoliate. I just use a washcloth, but less is more when it comes to skincare. Number four, just because you're related to someone doesn't make them your family. Have you ever heard of the term blood is thicker than water? People use that a lot to say how you should be more loyal to your blood family than people outside of your blood. That actually was supposed to mean the opposite, where blood is the blood of a pact, like a blood pact, and water is water of the womb. So blood is thicker than water actually historically means that the blood of a pact to your friends, to people that aren't necessarily related to you, is thicker, is sturdier, is you should be more loyal to those that are simply related to you by the water of the womb. Blood does not make anyone family. Loyalty and honesty and kindness and just deep trust makes family. Your best friend can be your family. There are people who are not related to me, but I wouldn't be able to live without. It would just change everything. And then there are people in my family that want nothing to do with me. If you're ever doubting whether you should split off from someone or consider somebody family, just remember that. Number five, always carry chapstick on you and ibuprofen as well. It doesn't matter if you're a guy or a girl, carry chapstick and ibuprofen. If you're a girl, especially ibuprofen, because you already know, but if you're a guy, Carry it because a girl around you may just need it. Number 6, I don't care what people tell you. If somebody says or like acts like they know what's going on more than anyone else, they're lying. Nobody knows what's going on. When we're young, we think that our parents know everything, but when we grow up, we realize their flaws and their mistakes. Nobody knows. Even if they're 80, they don't know what's going on, and that's okay. We're just all kind of lost on the same planet, floating in space, and that doesn't have to be scary, but just remember that if someone pretends to be in a place of authority and pretends to be all-knowing and uses that to their advantage over you, just know nobody really knows what's going on. We're all just trying to survive and figure it out. Number 7, buy garlic powder in bulk. This especially goes to like college students if you're starting to learn how to cook for the first time. Garlic powder is the most important spice. It is more important than salt, more important than pepper. Buy garlic powder. It will change the game, okay? Garlic powder pretty much goes on everything. Just trust me on that. Number 8, one thing I really wish that I did was I would continue reading after that middle school phase. This might not be everyone, but for me and a lot of people I know, you are reading every single night. When you're young, you can go through books just so easily and you're so like caught up in the stories and the information as a kid. And then once you hit middle school, you don't even realize it, but you just stop reading. And then you're on your phone more, and then you're playing video games, and everything else just gets so distracting, and then you realize that you haven't actually read a book in 5, 6 more years. If I was to go back in time, I would tell my middle school self, keep reading, just keep doing that. And if you're like me who stopped but really wants to get back into reading, go for it. Pick up a bunch of books that were recommended to you at Barnes & Noble, go on Amazon, get some books, just start. You have to start somewhere. Number 9, people you love. People who are really connected to you, you feel like you're gonna be with them forever, will come in and out of your life, and that's okay. It's a natural process, and everyone goes through it. Number 10, worrying about the future strips the experience you have of your present away from you. It's distracting. And of course, thinking about the future is very important, but don't dwell on the future and don't dwell on the past. Try to stay in the present because that's where you really are. You're not in the future or you're not in the past. You're here right now, experiencing your life. Be as grounded as you can be in the present. Number 11, for you plant owners out there, don't overwater your succulents. They're not like leafy herbs or plants. They only need water every 2 weeks, and I wish I knew that beforehand because I did kill a lot of succulents. Only water your succulents every 2 weeks or so. Varies on the plant, but that's the average. Number 12, be aware of your own intuition. It can be a lifesaver. If something feels off, if somebody feels dangerous, listen to it. Number 13, and this is a big one. The capitalistic society that you are in profits off of you hating yourself, seeing your quote-unquote flaws that are not flaws, and you wanting to buy products to fix them. So how you can fix the system is actually loving yourself. Of course, that's easier said than done, but I hope that gives you some motivation to begin loving yourself and treating yourself kindly, because businesses don't want you to love yourself. They want you to see your flaws. Just realize that you're a beautiful human being and you don't need any products to change what they see are flaws. Number 14, unless your server is actually like a horrible human being, which rarely ever happens, always tip 20%. They are underpaid, and most of the time issues that happen with your food are not their fault. It's usually maybe in the kitchen, or maybe it's even your fault. Just always tip 20%. Server jobs are very difficult and stressful, and they're doing it for you. Number 15, always try to make your bed in the morning. And if you forgot, don't hate yourself for it. You always have tomorrow morning. Number 16, money does not guarantee happiness. The pursuit of a lot of money, excess money, does not guarantee happiness. In fact, money never will fill a hole in your soul, no matter how hard you try. And it is a big rabbit hole to fall down. Of course, that is to say that money is a necessity and everyone needs it to survive and even have things that they enjoy. But excess money turns into greed, and I've seen it happen, and it's scary. It changes people. Number 17, coffee and tea are dehydrating. So if you drink coffee and tea in the morning or throughout the day, make sure to put a glass of water in there, okay? You don't want headaches, you don't want like dry mouth, and you don't want any dizziness. Just always stay hydrated because those are dehydrating drinks. Number 18, one of the hardest things to do in life, and so many people will never do this because they're just asleep and they don't understand, they can't grasp this concept. But if you understand and point out your own flaws and your own weaknesses, for example, mine is I'm very negative. Pointing things out like that and then working on them, it's called shadow work, but it can change your life and it can save your relationships. By working internally, you can save and grow your external relationships. Number 19. No matter what you do in life, whether you try to conform to what society wants you to be, or you stray off the path, people are going to hate you. They're going to. It doesn't matter your age, it doesn't matter your gender, it doesn't matter what you do for work. People are going to hate you because they want to fit other people around them into their little bubble. So just be who you are. And this goes with my number 20 is live for yourself. This doesn't mean live selfishly, but realize that you're here to learn and to work on yourself and to live out your dreams and passions. Don't live for anybody else. Don't conform to what people want you to be, whether that's being submissive, whether that's getting a PhD when you want to do something completely different, whether that's staying in your hometown. Follow what you want to do. That is how you're going to grow into a beautiful individual. Living for yourself is really hard to do, especially when you have advertisements and family members and friends and professors all telling you what you should be. But it is so worth it to live for yourself. Well, those are the 20 things that I have learned in my 20 years of living on this planet. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like down below. Feel free to also comment. I love hearing from y'all and I will respond back. What is the biggest life lesson that you learned? And where did it come from? Did you learn it yourself? Did you get it from a family member? Just let me know down in the comments. I would love to hear. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you get notifications every single time that I post, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye guys!